Cardano has been on the cutting edge of crypto for quite some time, yet ADA has recently been struggling to reclaim its previous highs. This has left some wondering whether the bull run is over for ADA, with others claiming that we're on the cusp of an epic rally. Today, I'm going to give you a quick recap of Cardano, bring you up to speed on what the project has been up to, and explain why ADA may very well be on the brink of a breakout. I hate to be a bother, but going on without a disclaimer wouldn't be proper. There's a rumour going around that I hold ADA, and this rumour is true. Financial advice, however, is not something I do. Everything in this video is only meant to entertain and educate you. Please contact a financial advisor if money is what you pursue. Now, if this is your first time in this corner of the tube, my name is Guy and crypto is my muse. My mission is to create high-quality crypto content that gives it to you straight. Coins, tokens, news, reviews, market moves, technical analysis, and tutorials too. If this is what you seek, subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell to become a true crypto geek. The hourglass is not always full of sand, which is why I've left timestamps below which you can use to skip over any topics you already understand. Just remember that the longer you stick around, the more your mind will expand. That's all you need to know about the Coin Bureau. Let's get cracking with Cardano. If you're unfamiliar with Cardano, here's what you need to know. So, Cardano was founded in 2015 by Charles Hoskinson. Charles is also one of the co-founders of Ethereum. Cardano was built by two for-profit companies, Input Output Global, which is based in the United States with subsidiaries around the world, and Emergo, which is based in Japan with subsidiaries around the world. Cardano's development is coordinated by the Cardano Foundation, a non-profit based in Switzerland. Cardano raised over $62 million between various token sales in 2015, 2016, and 2017. Cardano's mainnet went live in September 2017, and its blockchain is still in development. This is because Cardano has taken a research-based approach to development, with 128 academic research papers and counting. Like Ethereum, Cardano is a smart contract cryptocurrency, and its goal is to power the future of finance. By contrast with Ethereum, Cardano uses a proof-of-stake blockchain which can process around 300 transactions per second. Tokens issued on the Cardano blockchain also do not require interacting with a smart contract to mint or move. As such, tokens on Cardano are referred to as native assets rather than tokens. The absence of a smart contract with native assets keeps transaction fees on Cardano low, and these transaction fees can be paid in native assets thanks to Cardano's Babel fees technology. Around 2.7 million native assets have been issued on Cardano so far, most of which are NFTs. ADA is Cardano's native cryptocurrency coin. ADA has a maximum supply of 45 billion with a current inflation rate of just over 5% per year. When ADA's maximum supply is reached depends on a series of factors which are outside the scope of this video, but most estimates range from 30 years to 100 years. Slightly more than 80% of ADA's initial supply of 31 billion was sold across the aforementioned token sales, and the remainder went to Input Output, Emergo, and the Cardano Foundation. Now, while it's not clear how much ADA these entities hold, Charles Hoskinson's AMA videos suggest that he personally holds between 1 and 2 billion ADA. Now, ADA is used for staking, for on-chain governance, and to pay for transaction fees. Cardano currently has over 3,100 staking pools, which makes it one of the most decentralized cryptocurrencies on the market. This is thanks to Cardano's K parameter, which reduces staking rewards when there is too much ADA being staked in a single pool. ADA staking rewards are currently around 4.6% per year. There is no minimum stake and no lockup or unlock period. It should come as no surprise then that 70% of ADA's supply is currently being staked. Regarding governance, on-chain voting is currently limited to Project Catalyst, a community portal where ADA holders can vote on which new Cardano projects should receive funding from the community treasury. Cardano also has a Cardano improvement proposal process, which I'll come back to later. Now, although Cardano technically has hundreds, if not thousands, of smart contracts, there are no decentralized applications live on Cardano at the time of shooting. This is mainly because of concurrency issues, which I explained at length in my video about the top Cardano projects, which you can find using the link in the top right. It's been over 5 months since I last covered Cardano in depth, and a lot has happened since then. Shortly after that video went out, Cardano researchers released the white paper for Cardano's DJED stablecoin. Now, the inner workings of DJED are also outside the scope of this video, but I'll leave a link to another one in the description if you're interested in how DJED works. Anyways, in August, the Cardano Foundation also announced that it had partnered with CoinFirm to track Cardano transactions in accordance with the Financial Action Task Force's recommendations. Those of you who watched my crypto review from that week might recall my concern that we could see regulators go after the companies behind self-custodial wallets. This is because the FATF isn't a fan of self-custodial wallets, and it looks like Estonia will be the first country to accommodate the FATF's dystopian requests by banning crypto wallets and DeFi protocols. I'll leave a link to my recent video about the FATF if you want to find out what other recommendations it has for cryptocurrency. Anyway, I digress. In September, Cardano completed the Alonzo hard fork, which added smart contract functionality to the Cardano blockchain. Cardano also announced that it would be using Chainlink as its go-to data oracle, something which took many by surprise given the historic friction between the communities of both crypto projects. Another surprising September announcement was IOG, Input-Output Global's, partnership with Dish Network, one of the biggest telecommunications companies in the United States with a market cap of over $17 billion. Emergo also announced a $100 million Cardano ecosystem fund, presumably as a response to all the other crypto projects that were announcing their own $100 million funds at the time, such as Phantom and Algorand. In October, IOG announced the formation of the UTXO Alliance, a consortium of crypto projects that use the same transaction format as Cardano. IOG also revealed its smart contract certification standards, which will be applied to Cardano dApps in IOG's upcoming dApp store. Meanwhile, Emergo announced that it had incorporated with an African subsidiary with the goal of funding 100 Cardano crypto projects on the continent. Ardana then also announced that it had raised $10 million from various crypto VCs, including 3 Arrows Capital. Now, for those who don't know, Ardana is basically aiming to be the MakerDAO of Cardano. Its upcoming protocol will make it possible to mint a stablecoin using both staked and unstaked ADA. In November, another Cardano project called Meld announced the completion of its own funding round, which saw over $1 billion of ADA staked as part of its initial stake pool offering, or ISPO. As the name suggests, ISPOs involve staking ADA in a specific pool in exchange for native assets belonging to the Cardano project operating the pool. In exchange, the Cardano project keeps the staking rewards from said pool as profit, and in Meld's case, that worked out to over $10 million of ADA. For those who don't know, Meld is basically aiming to be the Aave of Cardano, and it's raised millions more from various launchpads and VCs since last autumn. Ardana also made the headlines again in November when it announced that it had partnered with Near Protocol to build a cross-chain bridge between Near Protocol and Cardano. And then, out of nowhere, eToro announced that it would be delisting ADA for US customers in the first quarter of 2022. As I mentioned in my subsequent weekly crypto review, eToro cited the quote, evolving regulatory environment as its reason for delisting ADA. What's odd is that the text in eToro's blog post about the delisting now cites the quote, evolving crypto environment, which makes eToro's reasoning even more confusing. Now, thankfully, eToro's actions are of little consequence, since Bitstamp listed ADA on the same day eToro made its announcement, and Bitstamp sees way more trading volume for cryptos than eToro. Then, in early December, a Cardano project called SundaySwap launched its testnet. If the name didn't give it away, SundaySwap is a decentralized exchange like Uniswap, and it appears to be the most popular Cardano project right now. Unfortunately, a mainnet launch date has yet to be announced, but I'll leave a link to its Medium in the description if you want to stay up to date. The day after SundaySwap's testnet, IOG announced that it had released a testnet of its own. This testnet was for Cardano's ERC20 converter, which is being built with the help of a crypto project called SingularityNet. I explained the ERC20 converter in detail in my Cardano update from early 2021, but the TLDR is that it will make it possible to transfer ERC20 tokens between Cardano and Ethereum in a trustless manner. In mid-December, Cardano's top DeFi projects came together to form the Cardano DeFi Alliance to facilitate dApp development. In late December, Emergo announced that it would be creating an NFT marketplace for Cardano called Fiberite. If you're an NFT creator, I'll leave the registration details below. And if you're an NFT collector, be sure to check out my ultimate NFT guide using the link in the top right. Now, despite all of Cardano's announcements, updates, partnerships, and developments, ADA has had a hard time keeping up with the rest of the crypto market and is down more than 50% from its all-time high. As you can see, ADA's troubles began back in September, specifically the Alonzo testnet hard fork on September the 1st, which caused ADA's price to rally to its all-time high of over $3. As far as I can tell, the slow crash that followed was caused by the concurrency issues many Cardano projects faced during the Alonzo testnet, namely MinSwap. At that point, it became clear that dApps wouldn't be deploying to Cardano anytime soon. This fact, combined with the FUD that followed, must have dented the morale of many ADA holders or those looking to become ADA holders. The mainnet launch of Alonzo in mid-September likewise failed to meet the high expectations of both the Cardano community and the crypto industry. To make matters worse, the circulating supply of ADA has increased by nearly 1.5 billion since early August. Given that ADA's average price over that time was about $2, this works out to nearly $3 billion in sell pressure. This figure assumes that the recipients of that newly minted ADA sold, but this is probably not the case, since I reckon the rational decision would be to stake ADA rather than to sell it. However, it's likely that Cardano projects are selling any ADA they've earned from their ISPOs or from Project Catalyst rounds to fund their operations. The Cardano Foundation, IOG, and Emergo also seem to be getting most of their funding from sales of ADA, since neither of these entities has received external funding, at least not to my knowledge. What's more is that the ADA allocated to Cardano's core organizations finished vesting in the summer of 2019, which means that this ADA can in fact be sold. Again, it's more likely that they're using the proceeds from their staking activities to fund their operations, but in either case, there is likely some amount of ADA selling going on there. Now, this wouldn't be a problem were it not for the fact that there isn't much demand for ADA beyond investing, since there aren't currently any dApps which give ADA utility. The good news is that there are lots of institutional funds with exposure to ADA, such as Grayscale's Digital Large Cap Fund, and it looks like a few of these funds have been accumulating ADA over the last few months. Many Cardano dApps are also scheduled to deploy in the coming months, and these are likely to create the demand ADA needs to conquer its previous all-time high. Last but not least, ADA's long-term technicals suggest it could rise as high as $4 in the coming months, assuming it can break that zone of price resistance at the $1.70 mark. If ADA doesn't break past that point, we could see its price print a nasty head and shoulder pattern, which could bring ADA back down to 2020 lows. I highly doubt this will happen though, because Cardano has lots of upcoming milestones which could easily take ADA to new all-time highs. As many of you will know, Cardano has a 5-stage roadmap with its own website. The Alonzo hard fork that happened in September effectively marked the end of the Goguen era, which focused on smart contract functionality, though there are still tweaks being made here and there. The only two remaining eras are Basho, which pertains to scaling, and Voltaire, which pertains to governance. Cardano developers have been working on Basho and Voltaire for quite some time, but it's not entirely clear how far along we are with them nor when they'll be complete. This is because Cardano developers have yet to release a detailed roadmap for these eras in the same way they did with Goguen. What is clear is that the Basho era will be defined by Hydra, a Layer 2 scaling solution for Cardano which has been in development for over a year. Now, without getting too technical, Hydra will make it possible for each stake pool operator to securely process transactions off-chain and submit them on-chain using complex cryptography. Each Hydra head, i.e. stake pool, will be able to process around 1,000 transactions per second. Now, given that Cardano currently has over 3,000 stake pools, this means that Cardano will be able to process over 3 million transactions per second once Hydra is complete. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson mentioned in his Christmas Eve livestream that Hydra will be complete this year. In terms of an exact timeline, it's likely that Hydra will be introduced during one of Cardano's hard fork combinator events, and these are scheduled to occur in February, June, and October. Mark your calendars. Other scaling-related milestones for Cardano were detailed by IOG in a November post, and the one that stuck out to me most was increasing Cardano's block size. As I mentioned in my video about the fastest cryptocurrencies, you can make cryptocurrencies faster by speeding up the block time or increasing the block size. Some crypto projects have opted to do both. Now, the trade-off is, of course, decentralization, and Cardano developers are hyper-aware of the storage issues that could arise if a block size increase is approved. Now, I'm not sure what their solution is for this, but it would be awesome if Cardano chose Arweave to store its blockchain data the same way other cryptocurrencies have. More about Arweave in the description. As for Voltaire, Project Catalyst is chugging along, and it looks like it's only a matter of time before Cardano improvement proposals will be accepted or rejected with on-chain voting. The only Cardano improvement proposal that really stuck out to me was CIP30, which proposes to make it possible for Cardano wallets to interact with dApps. This is a bit odd because Cardano already has a wallet for dApps called Namey, and I'll do a tutorial when the time is right. Back to Voltaire. Voltaire's final form is apparently being fleshed out by the Decentralized Consortium Funding, or DCF, a conglomerate of institutions including the Cardano Foundation, Boston Consulting Group, and the Blockchain Research Institute. A presentation from September about the DCF by enterprise architect Johnny Nguyen suggests that the final form of Voltaire will look like a sort of decentralized World Economic Forum. If I had my tinfoil hat on, I'd tell you that Cardano is explicitly looking to compete with the World Economic Forum through Voltaire, a less dystopian, more inclusive World Economic Forum. This is because the World Economic Forum has a crypto consortium of its own, which is arguably at odds with Cardano's values and definitely at odds with the core values of cryptocurrency. You can learn more about what the World Economic Forum Crypto Consortium has been saying about cryptocurrency lately using the link up there in the top right. Now, although I do hold ADA and am extremely excited about Cardano's potential, it would be remiss of me not to at least highlight some concerns I have. My first concern with Cardano is regulation. The elephant in the room here is the initial stake pool offerings being conducted by Cardano projects, which are probably similar enough to initial coin offerings to cause trouble in some countries. Charles Hoskinson seems to be acutely aware of the regulatory scrutiny ISPOs could bring. This is why he's pushing for contingent stake pools for ISPOs, which will require KYC. On that note, I can't say I'm a fan of the Cardano Foundation's choice to partner with CoinFirm to track transactions. If you watched my video about blockchain analytics companies, you'll know that these companies have some incredibly powerful tools that severely limit our privacy on the blockchain. Yes, they do help to stop nefarious activity, but powerful tools can be used for good or ill, depending on who is in control. I seriously hope that the nature of the partnership is able to find a balance between security and privacy. Now, this ties into my second concern with Cardano, and that's the details of its partnerships. Obviously, not all of Cardano's partnership details can be disclosed, but I, for one, would like to know the details of Cardano's partnership with Dish Network, as well as the other high-profile institutions the project has tied the knot with. Speaking of which, I find it surprising that Cardano waited so long to partner with Chainlink. This is because without an oracle, you can't really run any decentralized applications, yet the Chainlink partnership came weeks after Cardano's smart contract functionality had come around. This brings me to my final concern with Cardano, and that's that it hasn't been all that keen on partnering with crypto projects outside of its ecosystem. This has put Cardano at a huge disadvantage because the current crypto industry is defined by interoperability and cooperation. To be fair though, Cardano is making lots of progress in that department, and it looks like Cardano's top projects are very keen to cooperate with other top players in their respective crypto niches. This just underscores the fact that Cardano's success ultimately depends on the demand its dApps can create for ADA. Mark my words, when Cardano dApps start to deploy, ADA is going to go ballistic. That's all for today's Cardano update, folks. If you liked what you saw, let me know by smashing that like button. If you plan on tuning in next time, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell. If you're looking for more from the Coin Bureau, you can check out Coin Bureau clips for some behind-the-scenes action. I'm also active on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Telegram, where I post memes and provide daily market updates. If you want to know what other cryptocurrencies I hold as part of my portfolio and see how I change it as I go, subscribe to my weekly newsletter to get that info. If you're in the market for some crypto merch, the Coin Bureau store has got you covered, quite literally. Hoodies, sweaters, tees, and beanies, everything you need to rep crypto regardless of the weather. You can find my second channel, socials, Telegram, newsletter, and merch store using the links down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you all again. Until then, this is Guy bidding you goodbye.